Welcome back, lazy gamers. Welcome back to Pedro of Brazil in Civ 6. In the last one, we stopped right after securing a medieval era golden age. And please check that video out for a rundown of how we got here. But a quick recap, we have a very strong religion setup with sacred path, work ethic, and have scripture in place. All holy sites we have so far are monsters, and we'll definitely have a few more. The plan going forward is to complete our settles, fill out the land, enhance our religion, and set the stage for a culture or a religious win. The desert cities will need a lot of love to get on par with the others, and this starts with improving production. So as soon as we have the capacity, we will plan to run production-focused internal trade routes from Recife and likely a few from Vitoria. Maybe some external trade routes too, especially since trade routes to foreign civs will help the culture win push. We lost Lahore's suzerainty, but that's okay. The only city-state I care about on our continent is Ayutthaya, who is contested, so it might be a while before we get them. These camps are going to create a headache. So far, 2 camps have spawned on the western coast, and I know there are a ton of boats in the water. I want to settle the general area, and as long as the boats are there, my settles will be vulnerable. I think I'm going to use my military here, and likely need to build up a navy to secure the shores. We have 3 militaristic city-states here on our continent, which are probably the least impactful type of city-states for Pedro. Could have used religious ones for sure, but even scientific, industrial, or trade ones would have been better. Porto Alegre can build Jebel Barkal, or I can put another district down. Let's go with the wonder here. Jebel does give extra faith, which can always be put to good use. I should be buying settlers with my faith here, but I do feel a little greedy, and I'm tempted to wait till I have theocracy before I do any faith buys. Anything you buy with faith gets cheaper, and I am very tempted to delay my settler buys. That's a theocracy trait. We have a governor promotion, and I think we have delayed Bengala long enough. Let's place him in Rio, and we will figure out where to place Magnus next. I think either Sao Paulo or Salvador da Bahia are great candidates for Magnus. Plenty of chops in both, but I think Salvador has a few more. I think that's where Magnus will go, and I think I'll also plan a government plaza there.
I cannot imagine any invincibility lies.
Damn it, another sea camp. That means more boats to deal with. This might slow me down, and I think I will need a bigger force and a bigger navy for sure. The 3 primary luxuries near us are tea, salt, wine, and tobacco. And an industry on all of these is definitely on the cards. Salt gives growth and housing, and wine I think gives culture. Tea gives science, so that will be great in the capital. The others can go into any of the other cities. Let's start with salt in Goralhus first, and then maybe wine in Salvador. Let's see. Time to place down our first theater square. And let's plan for our first street carnival in Rio. I will definitely try to get the Colosseum if it's still available. I have delayed my government plaza and diplomatic quarter long enough, and I wanted a holy site in most of these cities first. I think I'm going to place the Diplo quarter in Guarulhos right now. There is a dam for the city in the near future, and I will definitely plan for it. And I'll also plan for an industrial zone in good time. But right now, I think the Diplo quarter is fine. Cool. The street carnival is up, and let's get an arena up now.
I'd imagine a taxpayer.
Now that we have civil service, let's get alliances with everyone on our continent. Does not matter what kind of alliance. From this point on, we will maintain permanent ally status with all of them. To that end, I need to start thinking about finding all the other civs on the map. And let's head for guilds and get Chichen Itza ASAP before we beeline for Reform Church. Salvador gets the government plaza, but for my future sanity, I need to plan a dam in the city ASAP. Cool. The Colosseum is available and we will place it down. Going to chop out stuff in Salvador, and we picked audience chamber here, not for any other reason than it's the only one that helps us directly. Ancestral Hall is kind of pointless now. It does help a bunch if you get it early on in the game. Same with Warlord's Throne, this is not a war game. So future governor promotions, because we have audience chamber now, should prioritize getting new governors into the cities. Let's start with Moksha here.
At the southwest corner, a large perpendicular mass of sandstone has become separated by a deep fissure from the body of the mountain. It has all the appearance of a colossal statue.
Jebel Barkal is done, and let's get started on a theater square in the city. Fortaleza Grove is complete. The tiles look better now, but are quite far from being their best. I think Recife is going to be a while before it is developed, but that entire area is going to be quite sick when it's completely developed. Oh crap, the era countdown has started. This is not good. Not good at all. More than 10 points away to avoid the dark age here, but I think I'm going to embrace it. We will try to pivot into a heroic age next era, but all I gotta do for the next 10 turns or so, is to minimize the era score I can get. It sucks that we won't be getting another Monumentality Golden Age, but let's see. We will figure out a way to make this work. I don't think I have the luxury of waiting till we have theocracy before getting more settlers. Also, we will enhance our religion next era now. Let's spend a moment and plan some city placements and districts out. Might make sense to delay the Colosseum too, but that can be risky. I don't recommend it, but I think I'm going to do it. Delaying the era score is important for two straightforward reasons. You don't accidentally stumble into a normal age while aiming for a dark age. And two, you do raise the odds of getting a heroic age in the following era.
Every man should make his son learn something.
Another governor promotion, I think Liang in Recife. It's going to take time and the city needs help, but we will try for Mausoleum of Helicarnassus here if it is still available.
Not all who wander. Listen.
Now that we have cartography, we can explore further beyond our shores, but have to be careful for the next few turns. We'll try not to meet anyone until the next era. Alright,
While the
Renaissance
Colosseum stands,
era
Rome
Dark
shall stand.
Age.
When the Colosseum falls,
And we
Rome
got
shall
the
fall.
Colosseum.
When Rome falls, the world shall fall. The more science intervenes in warfare, I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell.
And with Reformed Church, we will switch to theocracy. Now this is an interesting card. We can use an apostle charge to start an inquisition. Usually running an inquisition costs one apostle. This could be useful, but there is a science hit. So if we do plug it in, I would prefer to not leave it in place for too long. And Babylon is sending apostles. Good God. We need our own right now. And the dedication, I think Exodus is perfect. We will be settling about 4 cities immediately for 8 era score, and we can try to be aggressive with our religion spread for even more era score. Let's place Chichen Itza down now. The second grove is up, and man, Recife still needs a ton of production. I should have bought a trader with faith in the last age. I missed out on that. Now I will either need to hard build it or use gold to buy it. And maybe a few builders too should have been bought with faith. That was definitely an oversight. Alright. Debater apostles will take that promotion and move to the front line. All the others are candidates for evangelizing. Let's lean on promotions that benefit religion spread overall. Translator, proselytizer, and then the ones that give extra spreads, I will keep. But any promotions that don't match those, I think I will use to enhance. First belief now. Sacred places could work, but I am leaning towards world church or maybe even pilgrimage. But I think we have enough faith. Let's maximize culture from this point on. World church it is. Fighting off Babylon's religion is an overall distraction, and the only sure way to ward it off is to force our religion on Babylon.
If you see a castle under fog, you must walk there to meet the extraordinary dreams. A diplomat is a man who always remembers a woman's birthday, but never remembers her age.
He has converted Sao Paulo, and I think I'm going to try and wipe out his religion completely. The Inquisition card is very attractive right now, and I think I will switch to that. With the card, apostles have higher combat strength, and at a bare minimum, the era score will be useful. Let's get the Inquisition. I'm not a fan of the Inquisitor unit, but let's keep one on hand. They can only be used on your own cities. In our case, we expect to spread our religion in our vicinity by killing Babylon units. So not sure how useful the Inquisitors are going to be. Sweet. We are the most expansive empire. More era score. Almost past the threshold for a normal age now. And it's only been a few turns into this era.
If it's natural to kill, how come men have to go into training to learn how?
I'm getting close to having most envoys in Ayutthaya. I think the next governor will be Amani in Ayutthaya.
Tactics mean doing what in peace one is discussed.
Since we have mercenaries, let's plug in Reformed Army so we can mass upgrade a bunch of units here. Our gold is decent now, but we have struggled for it all game. The last 50 odd turns, it felt like we have been straddling the line as far as gold is concerned. Looks like Babylon is the only civ with a religion on this continent. So we will convert them first, then move south and convert Basil and Amanator. Basil did not end up with a religion, which I think is a good thing overall, but the AI does not really play Basil all that well. That's fine though. We are all friends here on this continent and we will keep it that way.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told.
Think that Inquisition card has served its purpose. Let's switch into aesthetics now for the culture, and natural philosophy is fine for now. Okay, time for Amani to go to Ayutthaya. The Inquisitor is a weak unit in combat. It can't attack anything, can only defend, and that too just barely. But we will see if we can use this guy to bait a few Babylon apostles. And I will use the military for some scouting in the area, just so I can locate Babylon apostles early.
There is no easy way to train.
Of course it's God's will. What do you mean, friend? Alright, we are going to meet someone. We see the continental shore. Pound maker. Interesting. He is friendly with 2 civs and at war with 1. We should try and friend him and ally him if possible. Let's start with some trades here and let's get open borders. One of these days I need to play as the Gree. It's been a while. Second belief now. Which building do we want? The amenity from Stupa could be useful, but Gurudwara for growth is very attractive. However, if I wanted to pivot into a hard religious victory push, I should have picked mosques. Oh wow, just 9 era score away now from securing a heroic age.
The 4 characteristics of humanism are curiosity, a free mind, belief in...
Let's buy the Gurudwara in the capital, and as for civics, I think we need to get onto the top of the tree. Natural history into conservation. If you did not know this already, if an apostle is in an encampment or city center, there is no way to attack that unit. You have to lure it out. And if either district is adjacent to a holy site, the dude can keep healing there and it's impossible to kill, unless it can be lured out. Okay. Time to raise some gold. And let's buy the grove in Recife. The yields are getting better, but we have a ways to go still. Remember this skill. It will be relevant in the late game. Nothing important, just some meme-worthy hilarity. But that's for later, possibly the next video. And we met Canada. Poundmaker is friendly. Let's ally him because Poundmaker has a unique ability that gives allies shared visibility. Watch this.
The wicked king pursued the lovers Juan and Maria on his swiftest horse. As he overtook them,
We see
Maria
the
flung down her
chocolate
ring,
hills.
and at once rose up 7 tall hills, and the oddly,
Atlant,
it was not to the
Eye
spire
of the
meteorites,
Sahara.
but a deeply eroded dome with a rainbow-inspired color.
We met Guitarja and Lautaro, who is likely the troublemaker on that continent. Looks like this continent is overall smaller than ours. Ooh, Auckland was in the game. Pity, we could have used Auckland. Okay, let's friend them all. most of them at least. I don't see a path for friendship with Lautaro, at least until later in the game. And we definitely need open borders across the board. This is the beginning for setting up the culture victory. And yeah, our era score went bonkers. We were the first to meet everyone and have secured heroic age next era. While we have the diplomatic league card in, let's put a point into all the newly met city-states. I wanted to pump them into Ayutthaya, but that can wait. I think I will want to suzerain Jerusalem and possibly La Venta. Hattusa and Venice, let's see. Not as important for our victory conditions.
The Great Ball Court is also very impressive. I would like to have seen them play a game, although it sounds like the end was pretty violent. I think it was safer to be a spectator.
Chichen Itza is done, and the next step is to place lumber camps on all those rainforests. Great yields in Rio now. So turn 143. Culture victory numbers don't look all that great. They will get better, but looks like Amanitor and Poundmaker will need to be overcome. This might not be hard to do, but will just take time. This is a pivotal point in the game, and I think I have to decide very quickly which victory condition to go for. For a religion victory, all my faith will go into spamming apostles. We'll need to promote moksha and take it from there. Pretty one-dimensional. For culture, however, I need to save faith for great people, naturalists, and rock bands. And yeah, I don't think I can do both. I should not pursue both victory conditions, but I am going to take this in for a few turns and then make a call. Oh good god, more era score from the industrial zone.
From the power of the state.
And more for converting Babylon's holy city. At this rate, I think I'm setting up for a dark age after the heroic age. Only Rapicum left now, and once converted, the religious threat from Babylon will be wiped out. That about does it. There is a chance that Babylon can have some wandering apostles or missionaries on the board, which could come back and reconvert the religion. Just have to be careful and leave a few apostles in the area for a while at least. Let's suzerain Ayutthaya now. We are going to get 2 envoys at colonialism, so that will help keep Ayutthaya if Amanitor decides to fight us for it. Colonialism is
What can be
done.
labeled, packaged, mass-produced colonialism. The enforced spread of the rule of reason.
Let's see. Oh, non-modal. Must have evolved from a barb clan, I think. Let's put the points in non-modal. Diplomatic League has run its course, so let's pick Merchant Confederation for the gold. And I think Gothic architecture. We will aggressively try for some more wonders. I think let's buy an archaeological museum here and rush for natural history. That opens up the Copacabana among other things and sets us on the path towards conservation.
It is a beautiful and important monument and an international intercultural treasure. Unless and until it can be shared by both religions in harmony, which would be a
We
grand
finished
idea,
the Hagia
it should remain a secular
Sophia,
building,
and I
honouring
think this
both
is a
religions
good
who
spot
have
to
made
take
it
a break.
beautiful.
It feels like we caught up on all that we had planned for and are primed for the third act into victory. There are a few things I want to note here. All my apostles, actually only the ones who have a single charge left, I will not be using that charge since it will effectively take the apostle off the map. But all those guys with a single charge, I will spread them out through my empire and keep them on defense. Haven't looked into the religion scene on the other continent, but there are 3 religions there, so I expect some missionary and apostle shenanigans coming our way. We will definitely convert our home continent, but any plans for a global conversion? Maybe later or never if we are pushing hard for a culture win. And to that end, I want more theater squares, more street carnivals, and at least a few Copacabanas before all is said and done. But that's for next time. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next one.